From the home of the Bills since 1973, we are at Highmark Stadium, just south of downtown Buffalo. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
On second and very short, Allen looking deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And Barkley did not get there. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They run for it with Hunt. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And some space here. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Jonathan Taylor, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Bucs have taken the early lead on the road here in Buffalo. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it, but I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because the reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up, and they gave the touchdown that was just given up.
The Bills are 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season.
Allen hit. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the...
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Well, this defense for the Bills, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. They get the guard out of Georgia Tech, Shaq Mason. Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. Now the pitch goes to Taylor. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 48 yards on the ground for him so far.
We are watching a runner having a really nice game. Carrying it very well. Vision is excellent, but boy, look at the help he's getting. Offensive line, I think they're pretty eager to block for him.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Allen now looks to throw. To Barkley on the check down. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down. Well, with Saquon Barkley, you often think of the elusiveness, the quickness, but he can definitely run with purpose as well, and he's able to shed a tackler there and continue on.
Yeah, that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
On 1st down, Allen nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Ready, break. Ready.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Okay,
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On 2nd down, here's the option. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
And right side, they're going to go option here. The keeper good for only 4, and that's going to lead to a 4th down.
Ready, set.
Trying to punch it in with Taylor. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Okay, break.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Smith. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Fix the Eagles, fix the Eagles.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial... All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Lavonte David.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
After the interception, here's Smith. He's got Otten. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Smith on 3rd down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world.
Ready?
On 4th down, Smith. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Bills are going to get the football back. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Going up top. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet. The Bills send the punter out, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us. No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
And this is caught inside the 5. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 51 yards.
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Now Smith. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Seibert's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down a couple of scores, 16-0, as they start things out with a 1st and 10. He sets to fire deep. And this one is incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Allen. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Dropped incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Allen. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're
You
down.
don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
It's a gain of 6. Next is 3rd and 4.
Play action. Now it's Allen. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
On play action, Allen. That's caught inside the 20. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And again, it's Allen. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. his second touchdown on the season. And the Bills are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And how about that for just running out the clock? The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Let's go.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Buying time to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Seibert able to knock this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And you wonder if with Allen's arm, they might just take their chances by dialing up a long one. A final shot before half for Allen. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Ready.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They run once more with Taylor. And again, this Buffalo defense there in run support to stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is caught by Evans. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
To about the 33-yard line. Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 64 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
Well, they've certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. Just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Now, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. It's complete to Williams. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
Ready, break!
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Smith. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory. Right at the 40. A give to Williams, running right. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Jerome Baker there on the tackle. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing is Smith. This one swung out to Williams. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. How about this? They'll try the option, left side.
On third down, here's Taylor.
And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Get it. 60 Maverick.
They snap it to Smith. Looking downfield for Godwin. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Bills are going to get the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Bills on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw, it's Allen. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. One final try here for Allen. And my goodness, another interception. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me, because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Give him 18 on the play.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bucs are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that will bump the lead up to 26. The Bucs ready for the kickoff, and here we go. It's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. And now here is another interception. It's Devin White, the linebacker, and the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so you don't get another one picked off.
Tackle there by Nick Cross. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities.
And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Buccaneers are on their way to a 2-0 start. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Shaquille Barrett getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. To the air, Allen. Quick slant to Shakir. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain. Now Allen, gotta have this one. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And down inside the 40 to about the 38.
96 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Throwing now, Smith. Over the oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a...
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. How about this? They'll try the option, left side.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Extra point by Bass, up and good, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Come on.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last two drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Takes it at the 7. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
At their own 22-yard line.
Throwing on first down is Allen. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play. But still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for the Bucs, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile,